In 1513, a philosopher wrote a set of observations so brutally honest about human relationships, they were almost lost to history. This wasn't just about power or politics. This was about the unspoken rules that govern why people stay, why they leave, and where true loyalty comes from. Today, we're bringing those forgotten truths into the light. Once you see the pattern he revealed, you'll never look at your relationships the same way again. Think of the people closest to you right now. Your partner, your friends, your family. Now, imagine a scenario where you lose everything. Your status, your resources, your confidence. Everything that makes you, you, in the eyes of the world. Ask yourself this tough question. Who would genuinely remain by your side? The honest answer might be unsettling, but it's a necessary one to confront. Most connections in our lives are sustained by mutual benefit. Support, companionship, advantage, or comfort. This is a cynical view, but a realistic lens on human nature. Recognizing this pattern is what protects you from future heartbreak. Consider the friendships that have faded. You once shared everything with someone. Laughter, secrets, trust. But when your situation changed, you moved, faced hardship, or simply grew busy, they vanished. Why? Because that bond was often anchored in the value you exchanged in that specific moment. Once that shared benefit disappeared, the foundation crumbled. This isn't about them being a bad person. It's a basic function of how people relate. Look at romantic relationships. You may have experienced intense affection that later cooled. Life shifts. Careers stall. Circumstances evolve. Challenges mount. The philosopher would say this is not random. Romantic attachment is frequently tied to emotional, social, or practical fulfillment. When those needs go unmet, the connection often weakens. Then there's family. Some relatives seem absent until a crisis hits. Suddenly, they appear. Their distance isn't necessarily dislike. It's often that their engagement is calibrated to necessity or perceived value. Even workplace bonds follow this rule. You build camaraderie with colleagues, sharing projects and successes. But when roles change or paths diverge, that closeness evaporates. The philosopher observed that alliances built on shared advantage dissolve once that advantage is gone. All these examples point to one core principle. Loyalty is seldom unconditional. It is typically linked to advantage, convenience, or mutual gain. Whether in friendship, love, family, or work, people remain invested as long as the connection holds value for them. When the perceived costs exceed the benefit, the bond often frays or breaks. Understanding this truth changes how you move through the world. It allows you to see people's actions with clarity, not as a personal betrayal, but as a reflection of natural self-interest. You stop being shocked when someone withdraws. This awareness also gives you strength. You start to see who truly aligns with your path, who adds to your life, and who is only present when it's convenient. You learn to invest deeply in those who stand firm during storms. And for those who depart when benefits fade, you release the energy spent hoping for a loyalty that never truly existed. Ultimately, this test isn't about judging others. It's about understanding reality. Relationships are exchanges. Attention, effort, and care flow toward sources of value. When value shifts, so does behavior. Accepting this brings a profound freedom. Freedom from false expectations, from disillusionment, and the freedom to focus on genuinely reciprocal connections. The philosopher witnessed this pattern in courts, alliances, and across society. He saw loyalties fracture when circumstances shifted, and he identified a timeless truth. Humans act from self-interest. Women, men, everyone. Grasping this doesn't make you cynical. It makes you discerning. It prepares you to handle betrayal, cultivate real bonds, and never be caught off guard by relationships that were never built on unconditional terms to begin with. With this understanding, you navigate life with clear vision, appreciating those who stand with you, while releasing illusions about loyalties that were never real. Now, let's apply this lens specifically to understanding behavior in relationships. The philosopher, known for his political shrewdness, also possessed deep insight into human nature. After experiencing betrayal and exile, he wrote candidly about how people truly behave under pressure. While many focus on his advice for rulers, his observations on human behavior are equally potent, especially concerning relationships. He noticed a truth most choose to ignore. People are inherently self-interested, and their loyalty, care, and affection often depend on what they gain. He stated plainly that people can be fickle and self-focused. When things are easy, they offer support and love. When difficulty arrives, they may retreat or even turn away. This idea can be uncomfortable. You might think, not my people, they're different. That resistance is exactly what he wrote about. He wasn't being cruel. He was highlighting a reality many refuse to acknowledge. He also noted that everyone sees a persona you project. Few encounter the real you underneath. This means people in relationships can show warmth and dedication even when their actions are guided by their own interests. This isn't deceit. It's human psychology. Seeing this clearly doesn't make you cold. It makes you alert and prepared. What does this mean for dynamics in relationships? Let's break it down. Affection is frequently conditional. Partners often express love and care as long as the relationship meets emotional, social, or practical needs. If conditions change, like a loss of stability or confidence, that affection can diminish. This doesn't make someone bad. It makes them human. Loyalty has its boundaries. Many partners are supported when life is smooth. But when the relationship demands significant sacrifice or effort, some may step back. Loyalty isn't infinite. It's influenced by a cost-benefit balance. Self-interest guides choices. Even the most caring partner assesses situations based on personal needs. If supporting you becomes detrimental, they may create distance. This is natural, not malicious. The philosopher's insight is powerful because it challenges the idealized notion that relationships are purely emotional and selfless. Many are taught to expect unconditional love. When reality differs, they feel betrayed or confused. Through this lens, those reactions make sense. You're no longer surprised when a friend fades during your struggles, a partner's interest wanes when you're down, or a family member contacts you only in need. All these behaviors follow the same pattern. People act based on what they receive from the connection. The gain could be emotional support, security, status, or pleasure. When the gain disappears or the cost rises, behavior adapts. The mask of loyalty is a survival tool, not always a lie. The philosopher saw that people are adept at masking self-interest. A partner can seem devoted while quietly evaluating if the relationship still serves their needs. This isn't necessarily manipulation. It's a strategy developed over millennia. Reflect on your own experiences of disappointment. Often, it wasn't personal. It wasn't hatred. It was the balance of give and take shifting. Understanding this helps you view situations objectively, without unnecessary emotional pain. Key principles to remember from these observations can be summarized simply. Affection is often given while it serves a purpose. Loyalty depends on convenience and benefit. Respect is earned through consistent action, not promises. Knowing this lets you navigate relationships with awareness. You can anticipate patterns, set healthy limits, and avoid being blindsided. This isn't about becoming cold or manipulative. It's about becoming wise, strategic, and self-aware. These truths might feel direct, but they're empowering. They remind us that love, loyalty, and friendship are rarely completely unconditional. They operate within a framework of mutual interest. By accepting this, you shed naivety, avoid preventable heartache, and build relationships that are honest, stable, and mutually rewarding. In short, understanding behavior in relationships isn't about distrust. It's about seeing the world as it is. Once you embrace this, you can engage authentically, guard against betrayal, and forge connections that endure. When it comes to connections, most people operate on illusions about loyalty and love. The philosopher studied behavior and saw clearly. People are driven by practical needs and personal gain, not just emotion or duty. Grasping this lets you navigate any relationship with clarity, avoid disappointment, and maintain control over your life. Principle 1. People stay because they benefit, not just because they love. This is a tough lesson. We often believe love or friendship is unconditional. In reality, bonds last only while value is exchanged. Value takes many forms: emotional support, security, social standing, or practical help. When the balance of benefit tilts, so does the attachment. A romantic partner may seem deeply committed, but that attachment is often tied to what they gain. If emotional or practical benefits fade, the connection can weaken. The same applies to friendships and family ties. The crucial distinction is between love and respect. Love can be fragile, dependent on feeling and convenience. Respect is stronger, built on boundaries, consistency, and the consequences of violating them. A person who commands respect is rarely taken for granted. Principle 2. People will test your limits. This is a fundamental truth. In all relationships, people naturally probe to see how far they can go before facing a consequence. In relationships, partners will test your patience, your rules, and your standards, sometimes subtly, sometimes directly. Clear, enforced boundaries earn respect. Vague or unenforced boundaries invite repeated tests. A friend who chronically cancels is testing if you'll enforce consequences. A partner who dismisses your words checks if they can cross a line without cost. The solution is consistent action. Enforce your rules. Respect stems from consequences, not words alone. You can state expectations, but if you never act when lines are crossed, people learn they can disregard you. This consistency ensures you are treated fairly in every relationship. Principle 3. Attraction requires space. This surprises many. Being overly available or transparent can diminish attraction. The philosopher noted that those who maintain some distance and independence command more respect and desire. Mystery, self-sufficiency, and personal space generate intrigue. Keeping your own goals, hobbies, and life outside a relationship makes you interesting and valued. If you merge completely, sharing every thought and always being available, you risk becoming a convenience, not a cherished individual. This concept extends beyond romance. In friendships, family, and work, people naturally value those who are independent and not perpetually on call. Those who are always available tend to be undervalued. The power of respect. The philosopher famously said it's better to be respected than loved if you can't have both. This is often misunderstood. Love is conditional, tied to benefits. Respect is more unconditional, built on clear boundaries and consistent consequences. You don't need to instill fear. You need to ensure that breaking your rules leads to real, unavoidable outcomes. A person who is liked but not respected is often ignored or taken advantage of. Commitments to them are broken. Favors are one-sided. Conversely, someone who enforces limits fairly and decisively is treated with respect. People may not always like them, but they value their time and honor their rules. Respect brings stability and security to relationships. The key is clear. To be truly valued, enforce boundaries, maintain independence, and ensure violations have consequences. Operating with this understanding removes naivety. You stop expecting unconditional loyalty and instead foster genuine respect and balanced connections. Embracing these principles protects you from betrayal and disappointment, while making you the kind of person who is respected and admired in every area of life. This isn't about cynicism. It's about clarity. Seeing human nature as it is lets you navigate relationships effectively, maintain self-respect, and attract meaningful bonds. Now, let's build a system to apply these insights in real life. Knowing these truths isn't enough. You need a practical approach. Here is a step-by-step system to bring this understanding into your daily life. Step 1. Assess your connections honestly. Look at your key relationships: partner, family, friends, colleagues. Ask, what does this person gain from me? What do I gain? Is it balanced? Many relationships feel close, but are one-sided. You may be giving far more than you receive. The philosopher's advice is to see things as they are, not as you wish. Once you see imbalances, you have 3 choices. Adjust your contribution to match what you receive, renegotiate the relationship's terms, or walk away and redirect your energy. This step can be uncomfortable. It forces you to admit that some bonds were more about convenience than genuine connection. But facing this is a first step toward freedom. Step 2. Set clear boundaries. After assessing, define your limits. What behavior will you accept? What action will you take if lines are crossed? Consistency is everything. Threats without follow-through teach others your limits don't matter. True boundaries are enforced by action. If a friend repeatedly cancels and your boundary is to stop accommodating it, you must follow through. If a partner disrespects you, take decisive action. Respect grows when consequences are predictable. The philosopher knew this. People respect limits, not please. Step 3. Cultivate independence. Keep your life full outside your relationships. Maintain your friendships, hobbies, interests, and goals. Why? Independent people are naturally respected and attractive. If your life orbits entirely around someone else, you become a utility, not a valued individual. This applies to all connections. The more self-sufficient you are, the more inherent power and respect you hold. It also protects you. If someone leaves, your life remains complete and fulfilling. Step 4. Prioritize respect over approval. Focus on earning respect, not on being liked. People who are liked but not respected are often taken advantage of. Being respected means setting clear standards for your treatment, maintaining them without compromise, and acting on principle, not on others' desires. Respect is stronger than fleeting affection because it's built on boundaries and consequences. Those who react negatively to your boundaries were never meant to be accommodated long-term. Step 5. Practice conscious exchange. View relationships as exchanges. Ask, am I giving more than I get? Is this sustainable? What if I stop contributing? This isn't manipulation. It's realism. Some relationships are temporary, built on mutual benefit for a season. Accepting this prevents frustration and lets you focus on bonds that truly matter. Following these 5 steps transforms insight into strategy. You gain clarity and control. You stop being blindsided by betrayal or fading interest. You stop wasting energy on those who don't value you. This system isn't about being cold or selfish. It's about being strategic, self-aware, and empowered. It builds relationships that are mutually beneficial, respectful, and lasting. Applying these truths may feel uncomfortable initially, but it brings freedom. Freedom from illusions, from heartbreak, and the freedom to focus energy on connections that truly deserve it. By understanding behavior and acting with intention, you create relationships that strengthen your life, not drain it. This is a path to mastery. See clearly, act decisively, and shape connections that earn respect and endure. Many people initially resist these insights. The first objection is, this is too harsh. But seeing reality isn't harshness, it's awareness. Harshness assumes the worst. Reality sees things as they are, without the filter of wishful thinking. Understanding self-interest doesn't make you bitter. It makes you alert. Another reaction is, this will ruin my relationships. In truth, it can strengthen them. When you drop unrealistic expectations and see the real give and take, you build bonds on honesty, not fantasy. Relationships that survive this understanding are genuine. Those that crumble were never authentic. They were transactions you mistook for more. Some argue, not every relationship is an exchange. Yet every connection involves some form of give and take, emotional, practical, social. Denying this leaves you vulnerable. Accepting it lets you invest your time, energy, and trust wisely. Learning this doesn't make you cold. It makes you smart, emotionally aware, and capable of building relationships that are real, balanced, and lasting. These observations might feel direct, but they reveal the foundation of human behavior with powerful clarity. The path to true freedom starts with clear vision. Seeing the world as it is frees you from naivety and surprise at betrayal. You stop expecting others to sacrifice for you if you wouldn't do the same. You can still love, care, and invest in people, but now with awareness and purpose. Relationships become balanced, respectful, and mutually rewarding. The philosopher gave us the guide. Human nature hasn't changed. Those who understand it thrive. Those who ignore it struggle. It's not a comforting truth, but real success, personal, professional, emotional, grows only in the soil of reality. Master your relationships. Now that you've seen these sharp insights into human behavior, it's time to act. Stop ignoring the patterns that have led to frustration or imbalance in your life. Begin by reviewing your connections. Set firm boundaries. Protect your independence. Prioritize earning respect over seeking approval. Use this clear system to identify who truly values you and who is merely present for convenience. If these ideas gave you clarity, please like this video. It helps us reach more seekers like you. And subscribe to Winds of Thought for deeper insights into human behavior, influence, and building a powerful life. Share in the comments below which principle resonated with you the most. Start today. Protect your energy, command respect, and build relationships that are genuine, strong, and truly rewarding.